Hello, everyone. I will wait until other people join, and I might have to take a pause in between. I hope. I'm not sure. Hello, testing one, two, three. All right. Hello, Mnavar. Thank you. So seems like okay. So seems like the regular follower were able to find. Good to see Khalek. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good to see all our regular fan group is here, and we should be able to have a meaningful conversation and not get dragged by this. uh, thank you, Ham. So I'm in the middle of something. I haven't finished my work yet, so I might have to take a break in between. Um, so ask anything. Thank you so much, Asad. Thank you, Hamad. Thank you, Khalek and Munawar and everybody who's joining today. So ask out anything you want to ask. And let's see, what are the questions today? So Friday evening. Oh, how's the DaVinci project going? It's going well. I actually did some editing. Let me see if I can share DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve. I have so many windows open. I'm doing fairly okay. I learned few things, especially picture in picture and some other stuff. So so far so good. I think I'm supposed to make another cut. I will share. Let me share the screen. It depends. Malaysia or UAE? Just so give me, I said like 5 minutes, okay? Well, not 5 minutes, 2 minutes. So here you guys can see I am, look at this, my skills, I put American flag, I put couple of other things. I look at, I'm adding a dissolve and, transfer, whatever it's called. So I still have to learn a few terminologies, but look at my skill set, right? I'm doing fairly okay. Adding a couple of things, pictures in picture, multiple pictures, adding video effects. So I'm trying to do whatever I can. Anyway, so just to give you an idea, yes, it's going well. Of course, it will take some time. I don't have enough time during the day. I'm doing a lot of things. Okay, so let's take. Yes, I am. I am doing my own editing. It's very hard to tell other people timing problems when other person is available. I'm not available. So all those things. How can you change macho man mentality? Very hard to change mentalities. Unless someone is willing to change, it's very hard. So give up on this. Change your own mentality, change your own lifestyle, your own financial well being. Focus on yourself and minimize the people who you have to interact to live a good life, right? That's the one problem. We have to interact with other human being, and sometimes other human beings makes it very difficult for us to live a good life, right? So um, that's why we have to do sometime to try to change other people, but changing other people is almost impossible task unless they want to change. And most people who you want to change, if they would want to change, they already have changed so far. So focus on yourself always. Never, I am trying so hard. I did another project, tokenization. I'm working on that because it's a compliance issue. It's to make these things happen. I just want to make sure there is a independent, free, reliable, trustworthy system in place, which is not, I'm not responsible. I'm not the person who's handling money. That's why I hire American CFO. I'm doing a lot of things to put in place. It takes a little bit of time. It could have been done faster, but I'm in a new place. I don't understand the rules and regulations here. It takes me a little bit of time, and plus, I don't have that infrastructural support what I have available in America, because I know I have lawyers friends, I have people who can give me advice here. I'm new and I need to find, and people are not very competent here. Everybody here came here to make money, and they are far more interested to make money than trying to give you good advice. So I'm trying to avoid some mishaps. So that's why I'm taking, especially when I don't like to handle someone's else money. I rather deal with my own funds and do whatever I need to do as compared to try to, because market can go down, things could happen. So I don't want to take that responsibility lightly. So Asad, you want to move to Malaysia? I lived in Malaysia almost 2 years in 90s. So, and almost 2 years, 1 year here, and on and off. If you consider UAE, also 2 years. Both have different pros and cons. You have to look at what sort of freelancing are you doing. Visa cost in Dubai is a very expensive place. In Malaysia, I don't know where the expense. I was there on 2015 last time, so it's been 7 years. I haven't been to Malaysia. So Malaysia is relatively cheap, or you can live an inexpensive life. I don't know if you can live an inexpensive life in Dubai. Second thing, if you like greenery over, desert and a couple of other things. So I don't know what your freelancing job. And if you want to make money off of freelancing, then you should go where the money is, right? And where it's reasonably expensive. The visa cost is high in Dubai. There is another a lot of elements. So you should make a list of compare, do the comparison, fair comparison. How much you can earn in UAE, how much you can earn in Malaysia, how much is the living expense, what is the net saving, what is the quality of life based on the spending. There is a cost comparison, cost of living comparison available online. You can do that. There is a website called Mode or something, MOAD, digital mode or something. You can look at the cost of the both side and do side by side comparison. Yeah. So, Vanguard ETFs are inexpensive in terms of their management fee ratio. But I look at this way. 0% of a zero is always zero. But if you make 100% and you pay 1%, it's much better than paying 0% on making 0%. So it's not always, yeah, you can, VTI is the all market ETF. VOO is the SPY, I think, equivalent. And VGT, I believe it's the dividend. I have to check. I don't remember because I know they have the matching ETF for everything. Because I like QQQ because of liquidity. It's 24-hour traded on TD Ameritrade. A lot of people have like options. It's much more liquid. It has a very narrow spread. You can get in, get out. Expense ratio matters, but I think personally, I at this point, I think QQQ is much better option. But you can go for whichever option you like. The best thing is there are many sites available. You can look at their last 15 years performance since 2004, and that will give you a good idea which one you should invest. Good to hear that you are doing marketing in sales. Let me know more about, let me see what I can learn from any one of you. I didn't check what is the yield right now on this national bond in a UAE. If you want to be in a UAE or other places, of course, they are very stable, and it will be very stable for a very long period of time, and you can invest their national bond. But bonds are for those people who have plenty of money. If you're a early stage investor or the beginner in investing and you have limited fund, I probably don't think you should go for national bond because normally yield is not that high. So I don't know what sort of yield will be okay with you. QQQ is much better than QQQT, but you can check the both. It's your choice. Whatever the return of investment you think is okay with you. Yeah, there is a reason. You can check all these ETF, compare ETFs. I don't know if I have right now any benchmarking site compare. You can go to stock investment or compare ETF. You can check any of this. So there is this etfdb.com, right? You can go there and you can do the comparison. Let me add. So let's do the comparison. So we can do QQQT is the new one, so we won't have the historical data. So I don't know. Okay, QQQ. Which else you wanted to check? QQQT. This is very new, so I'm not sure if they can compare. They don't even recognize. QQQM is also very new, the mid-size. I mean, compared to so the best way is you can look at like which index. Now, this is the expense ratio which you should look at, right? What is the expense ratio? Now, this is expense ratio is a little bit better on this one. Look at this. This is only 4 billion, and this is a 165 billion, right? share outstanding. You can see the daily volume on this. This is only a few million shares, right? Look at this 1 month average. So there is much more liquidity, and plus you have to look at the performance, biggest factor, right? So let's look at the 1 year performance. Both are the same, but 3 year performance, of course, this is a new ETF, so you won't see it. The price to earning ratio is the same almost, right? So this is just the junior level. There is no advantage of doing the M. This is just for the people who have less money. This is the same ETF. This is not a different. The only thing, because you're not going to be in and out very often, you can use this. Either way is fine. But compare the performance. Compare the performance for last few years, and that will give you a much better understanding which one you should use. But I think let's see if we can do comparison here, QQQ versus SPY. And so I like to look at mostly chart, technical, I don't need performance. So look at this performance, okay? So last 3 years return, like look at this one. SPY is on 42%, right? 3 years performance on QQQ is 62.8%. This is, of course, comparing. Now, look at the price to earning ratio is much better on SPY because it's 500 company, but 200 companies are a piece of shit out of that, It's just a garbage. Now, look at this is something you need to look at, the dividend yield, right? Look at the dividend yield is much better on SPY. You have to look at some giving, and of course you have to reinvest your capital. But except these two, S&P 500 or now QQQ, you shouldn't invest in any of them other than that. There is a much better website. I have to prepare sometime the session before we talk, and next time we will talk sometime. We'll do a live session on this specifically on ETF someday. Okay, what else? Uh, 100,000 dirham. I didn't check the national bond. There is also a couple of other companies, they go private where you can invest. But I don't like investing in individual companies. It's just could be garbage. Yeah, if you have a small amount of money, you're not going to have a huge difference, right? You have to let's show. Yeah. If you have a small amount of money, you're not going to have a huge difference in terms of SPY versus. So you want to do QQQV or so let's do QQQ and V. Nowadays you have so many tools available, right? But this is a Vanguard S&P 500, right? So the real comparison, this one will be with the SPY, not with the QQQ, right? Because QQQ is not so here you should be comparing, now it's 1.2 billion, 1.4 billion, and this is 23 billion average daily, right? But of course you are not going to be in and out. So this is 0 to 9%, and this is 3%. If you are a long-term investor, you can keep buying this. It doesn't matter. Performance-wise, it's going to be almost the same. 10-year performance should be the same because it's actually mimic number of highs, 64. The thing you normally need to look at is this, how concentrated it is. Right now, S&P also look at the Apple is 7%, Microsoft is 5%, S&P here is around 6% Microsoft. So there are 10 top companies which are really dominating. 28% is among the top these companies. If something goes wrong with this company like United Health or any of these companies, actually this is sort of a ETF, it's not a real company, Class B. Is this is not, because it's a recursive, right? Because Berkshire has a lot of Apple and a lot of other companies, so this is not a real company. But anyway, you can check, right? It depends. Yeah, if I recommend some company, I have a liability, right? That's the something I'm very concerned that I don't want to take a liability, right? That's the challenge. So if you don't have enough money right now to invest, and how do you invest at your time, learn a skill. Okay, all right, I have to cut this short. Let me just 1 second. Okay. I am actually right now working with the developer. I'm trying to do something to finish. That's why I hate scheduling these events, because then people come and I'm busy and I didn't want to. So I have to go back. It's half an hour. I am done. So what you can do when you don't have enough money, you can start investing in yourself, learn some skills which can help you to earn a lot of money, and then you can earn that money into real estate or QQQ or equities or somewhere. I guess it's the same question you asked 4 times to just get my attention. In terms of Arslan, I will try to do. I will find out. There are a company actually next door. They want to do it, but I don't want to take liability to recommend some company if, for God forbid, something happen. My biggest concern always been I don't need anybody's money. I just don't want to somebody lose the money and then blame me, because people do terrible mistakes, and then companies are corrupt. Something could go wrong. That's why I only suggest QQQ, and even so, I cannot this. Investment companies can go bankrupt, right? If the one which I know, one of them is not going to be bankrupt is Interactive Broker or TD Ameritrade or TD, but it's a little bit hard to open the bank account with them, right? Show up on this type of things. Show me how much you really seriously want to do. Learn something. Be a mindful person. I want to have those group with mindful people, the people who have some understanding of investment, right? Anyway, I have to go. I will come back maybe in a half an hour or something. If you guys are around, we can do a little bit again. All right.